Imagine there are places inside you, hidden corners of your mind and heart, that you instinctively avoid. These are not places on any map, nor physical locations you can travel to or escape from. Instead, they are inner landscapes, psychological states where shadows lurk, memories hide, and emotions simmer beneath the surface. Yet no matter how much you try to steer clear, these places remain part of you, shaping your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychiatrist and pioneer of analytical psychology, believed that the most dangerous places we can encounter aren't out in the world. They exist within our own psyche. These hidden realms are where our fears, wounds, and unconscious drives reside. They hold immense power because confronting them can be deeply unsettling and transformative. Jung urged us not to flee these inner places, but to face them consciously, warning that ignoring them only gives them control over us from the shadows. When we talk about places here, we don't mean physical locations, but psychological states, emotional landscapes that can feel as real and impactful as any terrain. These are the inner regions where anxiety, shame, anger, or despair can reside, but also where profound growth and healing begin. Entering these places blindly is risky. It can change you in ways you never expected, for better or worse. But the reward is a deeper understanding of yourself and a richer, more authentic life. In this journey, we will explore 7 of these dangerous yet essential inner places, from the depths of fear to the frontier of creativity, inviting you to reflect, confront, and perhaps even embrace the shadows within. Let's embark with openness, curiosity, and courage. Dangerous place. Number 1, the mask of persona. The persona is like a social mask we wear to navigate the world. A carefully crafted face designed to help us survive, be accepted, and fit in. Just as a mask in a play helps an actor assume a role, our persona lets us perform the parts society expects of us. The confident professional, the caring friend, the perfect child. This mask protects us, shielding our vulnerable inner self from judgment, rejection, or harm. But here lies the danger. While the mask guards us, it can also imprison us. Over time, we risk losing touch with the true self beneath. The real emotions, desires, and thoughts get buried under layers of performance and expectation. The mask, initially a tool for survival, becomes a prison cell that hides who we really are. Signs that you're stuck behind the mask are subtle but painful. You may feel a deep exhaustion from constantly pretending, an emptiness as if something vital is missing. You might look around and realize that despite all the connections you've built, you feel profoundly unknown, not just by others, but even by yourself. The mask's reflection in the mirror feels foreign. The cost of over-identifying with this mask is heavy. Disconnection from your own essence, loneliness amid crowds, and a growing sense of isolation. You live a life scripted by others' expectations, losing the richness of your unique voice and spirit. Escaping this prison requires courage. It means peeling off the mask bit by bit, revealing the authentic self underneath. It involves accepting that some will dislike or misunderstand you once the mask drops, and embracing that risk as part of true freedom. Only by stepping out of the mask's shadow can you reconnect with your genuine self and live with honesty, depth, and real connection. The mask may protect, but only authenticity can truly set you free. Dangerous place. Number 2, the shadow playground. The shadow is the dark, hidden part of ourselves, the emotions and traits we deny or repress. Anger, envy, cruelty, shame. It's not inherently evil, but contains aspects we reject because they feel unacceptable or dangerous to our self-image. Yet, the more we try to push these parts away, the stronger and sneakier the shadow becomes. Repression doesn't erase the shadow. It buries it deep, where it festers. Like a pressure cooker, suppressed feelings build heat beneath the surface. Suddenly, they burst out in unexpected ways. Outbursts of anger over minor frustrations, self-sabotage just when things seem to be going well, or paralyzing shame for having bad feelings at all. These are signs that you're trapped in the shadow playground, dancing with your denied self without realizing it. The false calm of repression feels like safety, but it's a fragile illusion. Ignoring the shadow doesn't mean it's gone. It's a ticking time bomb. The explosive reality is that what we don't face consciously will erupt uncontrollably, often harming ourselves and those around us. As Carl Jung famously said, "What you don't own will own you." This means that without conscious ownership, the shadow controls our reactions, decisions, and moods, rather than us mastering it. Imagine a colleague who resents a promotion you received but never acknowledges their envy. Instead, they undermine your success subtly through passive-aggressive comments or missed deadlines. Classic shadow sabotage. Or a person who suppresses anger so thoroughly that it manifests as chronic anxiety or health issues. These vivid examples show how the shadow, ignored, shapes our lives in harmful ways. Confronting the shadow means ownership, not acting blindly on its impulses, but recognizing and integrating those darker parts into our whole selves. It's about compassion and honesty, accepting that these feelings exist and learning to navigate them consciously. The shadow playground is dangerous only when we play there unknowingly. With awareness, it becomes a place of growth and transformation instead. Dangerous place. Number 3. The echo chamber of the wounded child. Deep inside us lives the wounded child, a fragile part shaped by early emotional traumas that silently crafts unconscious beliefs about ourselves and the world. This child carries scars from neglect, rejection, or fear, creating a hidden blueprint that influences how we feel, think, and act without us even realizing it. These wounds don't simply heal with time. Instead, they echo endlessly within us, like sounds bouncing around an echo chamber. Every painful belief, "I'm unlovable," "I'm not safe," or "I'm not enough," reverberates through our minds, repeating over and over, shaping how we relate to others and ourselves. This echo chamber traps us, causing repetitive, harmful patterns to resurface in adulthood. It's why some people find themselves drawn to toxic relationships, continually reenacting childhood pain as if caught in a cycle they cannot escape. Self-sabotage, chronic dissatisfaction, and feeling emotionally stuck are signs you're living inside this echo chamber. The danger lies in mistaking these patterns as fate or simply normal life. It's easy to believe that repeated heartbreaks or constant inner turmoil are just how things are supposed to be. But these cycles are not destiny. They are echoes of unresolved wounds seeking attention and healing. Imagine a cavern where your pain echoes endlessly, each repetition making the sound louder, harder to ignore. Unless you step inside and confront the source, the echoes control your reality. The path to healing begins with nurturing your inner child, offering the love, safety, and validation that was missing before. By consciously choosing new beliefs and behaviors, you rewrite the unconscious blueprint, quieting the echo chamber and opening space for growth. For example, a child who felt invisible may grow into an adult who constantly seeks approval in unhealthy ways. Or one who was repeatedly criticized might struggle with self-esteem, avoiding risks out of fear of failure. Recognizing these patterns is the first step out of the echo chamber toward freedom and wholeness. Dangerous place. Number 4, the illusion of moral superiority. Moral superiority is the belief that one's own values, actions, or group are inherently better, purer, or more righteous than others. Closely tied to this is the psychological concept of projection of the shadow, where individuals unconsciously attribute their own darker traits, anger, prejudice, hypocrisy, to others, rather than acknowledging these qualities within themselves. The danger of moral superiority lies in its creation of a rigid division of the world into good versus bad. This black and white thinking fuels blind outrage and intolerance. People become quick to condemn others, convinced of their own unassailable virtue, which deepens social and interpersonal conflicts. This mask of righteousness effectively hides one's own inner darkness, allowing unconscious flaws and fears to fester unchecked. Signs that someone is trapped in this illusion include constant judgment of others, heightened defensiveness, and an inability to accept criticism or self-reflect. When challenged, such individuals often double down, viewing dissent as a threat rather than an opportunity for growth. The escape from this dangerous place requires embracing moral humility, a willingness to recognize the complexity of human nature, including the evil and shadow within ourselves. Carl Jung warned that real evil is not a distant enemy, but the unacknowledged darkness inside every person. He also cautioned against savior complexes, where one believes they alone hold the moral high ground and the power to save others, often leading to destructive outcomes. In real life, this illusion plays out across politics, where opposing factions demonize each other. In religion, where dogmatism justifies exclusion or violence. And in personal relationships, where partners project blame instead of facing their own shortcomings. Recognizing and integrating our shadow is key to breaking free from the cycle of conflict and division fostered by moral superiority. Dangerous place number 5. The seduction of collective identity. The pull of belonging to a group or ideology is a deeply human need. Groups offer comfort, shared purpose, and a sense of identity, especially in uncertain times. When individuals merge with a collective, they feel shielded, protected from loneliness, doubt, and insecurity. Yet this very shield can also become a cage, restricting personal freedom and thought. When people fully immerse themselves in a group identity, the collective shadow, the dark, unacknowledged parts of the group, can amplify. Negative impulses such as fear, hatred, and aggression are magnified and legitimized. This leads to the loss of individuality, as members suppress dissenting voices and critical thinking to maintain group cohesion. History offers painful examples of collective evil fueled by this dynamic. Mob mentality can turn ordinary people into violent crowds. Genocides, like the Holocaust or Rwanda, show how collective ideology can justify atrocities. Cults demonstrate how charismatic leaders exploit the need for belonging, demanding absolute loyalty and punishing independent thought. Signs that you're trapped in a collective identity include dismissing outsiders as inferior or dangerous without reflection, and mindlessly parroting the group's ideas. These are warning flags that your individuality is being sacrificed to the tribe. Breaking free requires courage, Reclaim your individual thought, question the tribe's beliefs, and be willing to stand alone if necessary. This is difficult, but essential to prevent the descent into collective darkness. The paradox is clear. There is undeniable strength in individuality, in the power of one to think and act freely. But conformity, while seemingly safer, carries hidden dangers. Group identity can be both a shield and a cage, offering protection but also risking the loss of self. Recognizing this tension is the first step toward true freedom. Dangerous place. 6. The realm of unquestioned beliefs. From the moment we enter the world, we are programmed by the values, norms, and beliefs inherited from our families, cultures, and societies. These unquestioned beliefs become the invisible scripts shaping our identity and guiding our decisions, often without our conscious awareness. This realm is perilous because living unexamined beliefs means surrendering control over how we perceive reality and ourselves. The danger lies in unconscious adherence to inherited dogmas, which can stunt personal growth and limit intellectual freedom. When beliefs go unchallenged, they calcify into rigid dogmatism, resistance to fresh ideas, or evidence that conflicts with our ingrained worldview. People stuck here often echo prejudices or assumptions passed down without scrutiny, perpetuating cycles of misunderstanding and division. Psychologically, this stasis can manifest as intellectual stagnation and emotional numbness. Without questioning, there is no growth. The mind becomes a closed loop, and the soul a prisoner of outdated scripts. The unconscious mind directs life's course, much like a river carving a canyon, sometimes leading us into dead ends or dangerous terrains. Carl Jung warned that these unconscious beliefs function as fate, controlling our lives in ways we do not recognize. Until we bring them into consciousness, they dictate our choices, limiting freedom and authenticity. The path to escape this realm lies in the courageous act of conscious examination. By interrogating inherited values, testing them against personal experience and reason, we begin to own our beliefs actively rather than inherit them passively. This conscious ownership creates the freedom to reshape identity and live intentionally. Think of inherited beliefs as maps handed down by ancestors. While helpful, these maps may lead us astray if we follow them blindly. Only by comparing the map with the terrain we walk can we chart a truer course, one that reflects who we genuinely are. Dangerous place number 7. The abyss of existential despair. The abyss of existential despair is a dark, harrowing place within the psyche where meaninglessness and isolation converge. It feels like a vast void, a cavernous emptiness inside that swallows light and hope. This abyss confronts us with the unsettling realization that life's purpose isn't handed to us. It must be discovered or created. The experience can feel like drowning in an endless night, where numbness and profound despair weigh heavily, and every question about existence seems to spiral into deeper uncertainty. Signs of this abyss include emotional numbness, a pervasive sense of emptiness, and relentless questioning of all previously held beliefs about purpose and value. The individual may feel isolated even among others, as if separated by an invisible chasm. This is the territory of the existential crisis, where the familiar foundations crumble. The danger here lies in succumbing to nihilism, a belief that nothing matters, or falling into paralysis, where fear and despair prevent any forward movement. This surrender to hopelessness can lead to stagnation, depression, or destructive behaviors. Yet, within this darkness lies potential. Carl Jung viewed such descent into the shadow, the darkest parts of ourselves, as essential for transformation. Consciously facing the abyss, acknowledging despair without fleeing, is the path forward. Through courage and deliberate choice, we can forge new meaning, reshaping our existence with authenticity and resilience. Metaphorically, the abyss of existential despair is the darkness before dawn, the painful but necessary night that precedes the birth of new light and renewed purpose. It is a dangerous place, but also a crucible where the self is reforged, emerging stronger, wiser, and more whole. In summary, we have explored 7 dangerous places, each representing inner challenges that test our strength and awareness. These include the shadow of our unconscious fears, the labyrinth of confusion, the wilderness of emotional chaos, the abyss of despair, the fortress of denial, the desert of isolation, and the storm of uncontrolled impulses. Each warns us of the risks we face when we avoid self-awareness, stagnation, suffering, and disconnection from our true selves. Yet, the power of conscious exploration cannot be overstated. To confront these inner dangerous places is not to succumb to fear, but to meet it head-on with courage and clarity. This journey is necessary for genuine growth and wholeness. By recognizing and embracing these aspects of ourselves, we transform wounds into wisdom and darkness into light. Carl Jung reminds us, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This insight calls us to action, not to shy away from our inner shadows, but to illuminate them with honesty and compassion. As we move forward, let us hold a hopeful yet cautious stance. True transformation demands bravery and persistence, but it ultimately liberates us from the chains of unconscious patterns. Growth is a courageous path, but it is the only way to freedom. Freedom to live authentically, deeply, and fully.